Hello everyone, it's JP here from JPCrossing, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a bit of a different video today. We are not going to be doing a play with me. We're not going to be in-game today per se, but I thought I would open up my island just to kind of give you a quick introduction to this video that I wanted to put together for you guys. Now, since I have gotten here I am, hello everyone. Since I have gotten the terraforming on this island, we now need to start getting some work done. We have everybody is here today reading, and everybody's saying hi to each other, and Diva has a little basket. We have Tangy is doing some kind of aerobics. You go, girl. You go. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of hang out here and kind of introduce you guys to this video for today. Since I got the terraforming activated, unlocked, whatever you want to call it, the next step is going to be planning out this island. What do I want to do with this island? How do I want to decorate it? Am I going to be going with a theme? You know, all that kind of fun stuff. And all that, especially this being my second island, involves a lot of planning. Now, the one thing that I have always struggled with when it comes to playing Animal Crossing and working on an island, and I'm sure if you've gotten to this video because of the title of the video, then you probably are struggling with the same thing, which is it's difficult to be able to kind of plan out and oversee. Like, I wish when you were terraforming you could see, like, above and see your whole entire island, or at least bigger areas of your island at one time. That's just not possible with this game. I mean, if you actually look at your map, this is what you're limited to, you know, kind of looking to see how you already have things in place, you know, where the different levels are, and your rivers and houses and etc. So what I started doing is I started doing what probably most anybody would, was I start searching the internet and searching YouTube for, you know, how people go about planning their island. And I know there is a online island planner. I believe it's called the Happy Island Planner. I will leave it in the description box below. I gave it a shot. I wasn't honestly a big fan of it. It just didn't like work for me and work how my brain works when it comes to planning out an island. So, but I did find another YouTuber who actually had done a video, and what triggered me to watch the video was in the title she had the word Procreate. So if you are an Apple fan and you have an iPad, and you actually know how to use Procreate, this video is going to be for you. I want to show you what I've done. I've taken the ideas that I got from this particular YouTube video, and again, I apologize for not remember the creator's name. I will put it on the screen now, and I will also link her video in the description box below, because I actually took her lead when it came to kind of, you know, the setting up process of how I'm going to plan out my island. So what I want to do for you right now is I am going to carefully move my keyboard aside. I am going to open my iPad so that you guys can actually see, and I'm going to put the iPad up on the screen as soon as I can get it open. We're going to make sure it actually records this time, is what we're going to do. I tried doing this video once before, and it actually, like, did not record, and I was pretty upset about it. So we're going to go right ahead and we're going to open up the Procreate app. Now, this video here is going to be very specific for people who are already very, very familiar with Procreate. If you're not familiar at how to use Procreate, I suggest looking at some beginner tutorials to understand the process of how Procreate works. Now, this particular app works for creating different types of graphics and images. You really can get as creative with this product as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this one little file that I've set up. I set up a copy of my file and kind of tweaked it a little bit. This is called my planning the acnh island. Okay, so we're going to open up this, and you'll see here what I have is I have basically a copy of my map. So what I did was I went into the actual app on your phone, and then I took a screenshot by pushing, the left bottom button, taking a screenshot, sending it to the storage, and then I sent it to my iPhone. Now you can do this through posting to Twitter if you can't figure out how to use the QR codes to be able to, send the information to your iPhone, but it's basically there and you can be able to get a screenshot. So what I did was I took a screenshot and brought it into this app, and that was my starting base for for my particular island. Now with Procreate, what you have in this upper right hand, you'll see these little layered squares. Procreate is all made from layers. Okay, so I'm just going to declick all of these different line items so that you guys don't get too confused. This is what we're starting with. We're starting with a blank square canvas, and I popped the screenshot of my map right in the center of it. Now, if you will look closely at any screenshot of your map, you will see there is a little square, a dotted square, okay? Those squares represent 16 by 16 individual squares in the game. So in other words, when you do a shovel, when you actually put up a cliff, or you do a single shovel to create water, that is considered one square. So these bigger squares that show up on your map are filled 16 by 16. So the key to all this, and what took me the longest time to be able to create, is you need to create an overlying grid on top of this map to be able to help plan your island. So what I did is, I believe the original creator Googled online and found a grid that she kind of made work for her particular Procreate file. But what I did is I actually went to Canva and I created my own grid, which I set up as a separate layer, and you'll see here I imported it in. And I also made sure that my grid matches up with the individual squares, and if you count across, there are 16 by 16. So this is a perfect grid. My whole entire island is all gridded out right now. That was the hardest part of this whole process, okay? And then what I did was I set up individual layers for each of the different parts of the island that I knew were going to change or were not going to change. And why do I keep on talking about multiple layers is the fact that setting up multiple layers will allow you to be able to change something in one particular area and not affect the rest of your image that you're looking at. So the first thing I did was I actually went around and I colored in the beach. So you'll see, I'll click on the beach and you'll see now all of a sudden I just basically played coloring in, this was basically a color by numbers without the numbers. I basically just colored in my beach because the beach is not going to change, right? You can't terraform the beach. And then the next item I did were the rocks. The rocks are also stable. You cannot change the rocks, so I colored in all of my rocks, okay? So that was the next layer. The next layer I did was basically level 1, which is all of the green area. So all of the green area, if everything was flattened, you would have all green, and then you could see there's the mouth outlets for the rivers, right? You can see that the day that I took this screenshot, that Red's boat was back in the secret beach. And each of the layers you'll see I have labeled as level 1, rocks, beach. Level 2, which is the next level up if you make a cliff. Level 3 is the next level up. Water, I have a layer for bridges and inclines. I have a separate layer for houses when we want to put the houses in. Also the stores, separate one for campsite. And then I did one for the island themed areas. So in other words, if you decided to do a specific island and you wanted to make sure that you had maybe a castle in one end, or you wanted to do a garden, or you wanted to have an orchard, those are what I would consider island themed areas. You want to put a cafe in, you want to be able to map out an entrance to your museum. Those type of things are specific to your island theme, and I set up a separate layer for that. Then of course you have my grid. We have resident services. Of course, the last thing is the color key. So what I did was I basically just went off of the map and took Procreate, the little grabber here, where you just click on this to be able to grab different colors, and I created a color scheme across the top to represent the water, rocks, levels 1, 2, 3, beach, any areas where I'm going to end up terraforming and just putting dirt down, stone for like a stone path. You know, I have a color for stone, yellow for village or houses, the pink for the resident rep houses, or if you have an additional players, you can use pink for that, or that's what I used. Purple for the store, and blue for Abel's. So that's kind of how I set it up. And then the way you can do it is, this is kind of a perfect example. What I kind of started working on here is how I, let me just get rid of level 1 so you guys can see. I basically started tracing over what I have currently on the island as far as the different levels and the different water features. And then I can decide, you know, like for example, let's go to water. So we go to the water, and you're highlighted on the water level, and you say, okay, well, I want to bring this river down to the mouth, right? So then what I can do is I can just pick up the watercolor, zoom in, and I can say, how do I want this to be able to connect to the mouth? So you can basically just color it in. You can increase the size of your pencil, and you can see this here, I'm making it 4 wide. Of course, you can always change it. You can always curve it. You can make it bigger, smaller, you know, to whatever you want to do with this. And yeah, so that's kind of how I am going to be planning out my island. I'm going to use this file to be able to kind of map out and plan out my different areas of terraforming, and then I can actually go live on my map and, you know, run around. Let me see if I can get up here from my sitting area now. You know, I can actually get up and say, okay, well, we're going to come all the way over to, let's get back here. So this is the mouth of my island, and if you look over left here, this is the mouth here, and it's already, you know, obviously this is the original, you know, I can actually, this is the original river. I could actually count, okay, 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, you know, I can actually count and be able to map things out. You know, your village or houses take up certain spaces, so you can actually put them on the map if that's where you want them to go, and you can basically be able to visualize and oversee your entire island. So I just think that's absolutely amazing, and I'm very, very excited that I've created this. If you're interested in learning more about how to, you know, the specifics of Procreate and how to create this file on your own, leave a comment below and let me know. possibly I will do a more in-depth video, but this one particularly was just for people who may be familiar with Procreate and just really haven't had the opportunity to mess around with it too much when it comes to planning out your island. So yeah, I was kind of excited and happy to show you guys that information. I hope this video was helpful to you. I know it's a little bit different than my normal Let's Play video. I'm going to be doing a follow-up video where I'm going to be officially releasing or announcing the theme for my island, and we're going to do a little bit of island planning and some inspiration pictures so that you guys can have an idea of what we have to look forward to, or what you have to look forward to in the upcoming Let's Play series, in addition to my live stream. So please make sure you, if you are not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you will become notified as to when I upload a new video. That's going to be it for me today, guys. You enjoy the rest of your day, afternoon, evening, and I am going to chat with you in my next video. Bye, everyone.